I pressed it.
Hello, we are live.
Hello.
How's it going? Anastasia's here. Hi, Anastasia. Welcome in, everyone. We're so excited to be here.
Yes,
Yay.
I am, for sure. It's going to be a good evening.
Yes. What's your name?
What's my name? Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting we should do that.
Yes.
Anne Marie. That's my name.
Nice to meet you, Anne Marie. And
Nice
my
to meet
name is
you.
Heather. I'm going to get your link up here. So anyone who watches the replay or comes on now can go subscribe to Anne Marie. Oh, hi, Chu.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Chu. Hello. And okay, how others got it. I think, can I put, and I'm sorry, I was going to say, hi, Amanda. Can I put yours in here like that or no?
Yeah, you can copy and paste it.
Let me try that. This will just take a second. So,
no worries.
How is everyone this evening? What's new? What's cooking?
Amanda. Thank you, friends, for being here. Anne Marie's just seeing if you can get my link in the chat there for me. That's super nice of you.
Oh, of course. You do it for me. Hi, Marie.
Oh, yay. So many friends are here. This is so exciting. I love it.
There we go. I've gotcha.
Did you get it?
Yes, I'm going to like it while I'm here.
Oh. Hi, Gary.
There we go. I turned off the volume on yours because you're going to hear yourself twice.
Oh, are you watching mine? How nice.
I might as well just leave it there, right? And I can get the, whatchamacallit.
Awesome. Thank you.
What is it called? The YouTube address.
Watch hours. Oh, you can just type in, like, just copy and paste that, or just, up to you.
Why
no worries if it's tricky.
There we go. So it's like, why isn't it pasting? No. There we go. Oh, Elaine, Gary. There, I got it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so all the friends here, this is streaming on both channels, and Anne Marie's posting it on her channel. So I posted Anne Marie's link a little bit up there. So if you're on mine, you can go and leave her a like or watch part of the stream on her channel. That would be great.
Yeah, I have yours open. So there we go. I'm just going to keep that open since we're there. Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you. Hi, Ove.
Oh, right.
Yes, Ove.
Hi.
Today, I'm excited for this because we're watching John Melton again with a woman named Bryn Lang, who's also a huge MLM coach. She's in Modere with John, and I'm excited because I'm going to do a video on her later. She's a very interesting woman. And so do you want to get the video up and then we can get started? We're going to learn all about how to make 6 and 7 figures in our MLM business.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
6-figure blueprint and why.
Yes.
There it is. Now I will come in here and make it look normal now.
And it looks like the volume is kind of low.
Oh, is it?
Well, it just like there's
There
I don't know
we go.
how loud it needs to be. Yeah.
I usually do that when I'm watching alone because for some reason my dog he doesn't seem to care for when I have talking going on here now. He's getting really weird about talking, or he'll go in our bedroom if we have the TV on. He just started doing that this week. It's the weirdest thing, but I guess as he's getting older.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Put this in theater mode.
Yep.
There we go. Now I got it. Oh,
perfect. Okay, so are you ready?
I am ready. And did we say hello to everyone? It looks like we did.
Anastasia as well is here, and they say Melton is always a treat.
Always a treat.
You sure
I agree. Sure is. Okay, so let me start them up. We're all set to go, and tell me if you can hear it or not hear it.
Yes.
John, I'm not making 6 figures. I'm not even making 4 figures. And it's all good because this conversation will be relevant.
He's coming back.
Oh, no.
Whether you want to make 4, 5, 6, or even 7 figures, because I've got myself and I've got the one, the only, the badass of all badasses, Bryn Lang in the house. Can we get a little whoop whoop on behalf of Bryn Lang?
Whoop whoop.
this conversation will be relevant to you no matter where you're at. And we're just going to keep it real. We're going to have a conversation to really help you level up in your business. So I'm excited. I hope you are as well. I would definitely recommend sharing this and taking some notes. In fact, it's really an issue, right? People, you know, they start off strong.
You have to hand it to him. He has a good personality. I don't always like what he says, but he's interesting to listen to.
He's peppy.
Yeah, he's excited. He says strange words, or he
Uh-huh.
says words in a strange manner sometimes. And
Yeah, he does.
I do, if he wasn't talking about MLM, I wouldn't mind listening to him.
Other than that, he gets on your nerves like a chalkboard.
Yes.
I do love his hat. It's got daisies all over it. I
Yeah.
like that. Oh, Emery, hello.
Ooh, yes, this man is real.
I know. All I can see when I look at him, remember I mentioned Max Headroom some time ago? That's all I see when I look at him is Max Headroom. I just can't get that out of my head. So she's getting ready for him to say, oh, I wonder if he does. I can't remember.
It seems like it's a John thing to say for sure.
Okay. I can't remember. I can't remember if he says it.
I'm ready.
Are
That
you
was
all
what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Ignorance on fire. You know, they build up a little team, they build up a little foundation, maybe they build up a little customer base, and they get stuck. Could be a $500 check. It could be a $5,000 monthly check. Could even be $10,000 a month, but everybody gets stuck somewhere. Guess what? I even got stuck at my highest level of income. At some point, you're like 300, 400. Oh, I got stuck. And then it goes down a little bit, right? So that's just the way it goes. So our goal is to help you. How many of us would love to double, triple, or quadruple your paycheck? How about your bank account? How about your volume? How many of you would love to just rank up? Because it's been a hot minute. So we're going to talk about that today. So why you're not making six figures, or for that reason, a full-time income, or for that matter, maybe you're not even making a check with a comma. So we're going to talk about it. And Bryn is one of the best leaders in the entire network marketing space. She's spoken on like every stage you can imagine. You could start off just sharing with everybody a little bit about your background, your network marketing journey, because I think it's so inspiring and people are going to be blown away. And then we'll get into some of the goods.
What's up, guys? I'm so excited to be here with you.
I figured I'd let him go until Bryn starts to talk.
Uh-huh.
Have you had experiences with your uplines teaching you how to get unstuck? Has that been
Not in those words exactly, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your
go ahead.
question. I'm sorry.
That
Okay.
was it. Yeah.
No, not unstuck, because we never got anywhere. So we weren't stuck. Like I definitely got nowhere, and even like with just a few people. So no, they never said that. They kept wanting to try and get me to like at least get a few recruits and kind of do the fast track stuff, like when I first sign up and stuff like that. So they're too busy doing that. And then later on, when I'm showing that I'm not really being able to get anyone in, they just kind of forget about you.
Oh, do you see what Marie said? Because
Yes.
I made my title The Six-Figure Blueprint with John and Anne Marie. I thought it was
I didn't
fun
even
to say
notice.
John and Anne Marie instead of John and Bryn.
And that's funny. You must have been just thinking about, okay, we're going to do this tonight.
That's
What
funny.
secrets do you have to tell us? Oh my goodness, I don't know. I obviously don't have any secrets because I never got anywhere. So I have nothing.
And I have another question. Did you ever have, I ask you a lot of specific questions, so if you don't know the answer, that's fine. Have you ever had an upline give you like a secret how to get to a 5-figure monthly check or a 6-figure year? Was there an emphasis on a certain amount of money being made, or were they just trying to get you to like recruit as quickly as you can? Did that make sense?
Well, the money part came with it when they were trying to get us or get me to recruit, because they would say, well, if you want to make your $2,000 a month or $10,000 a month, you could bypass me and all that. And the more I thought about that, well, yeah, you can bypass anyone really. So that wasn't such a big deal, but I thought it was. So that's kind of like how they would do it. It would just be with the money, because the Copeland, the Mary Kay person, she was well over a millionaire. So she was trying, I guess, to have us become millionaires, but it wasn't going to go anywhere, because all she did was give us those classes that we had to listen to on the phone, that we paid $200 for. And then to be at her house, yeah, she nickeled and dimed you to death, but that's
Wow.
what they're told to do.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that there was any secrets because they were trying to get me to the next level and then to start making the money with getting recruiting.
Okay.
I guess if I had enough under me and was getting a paycheck, they probably would have done something else and started training me in a different way. But I never got that far. So I was always way down at the bottom of their list once they got annoyed with me, I guess. I don't, not, what I mean? And because I'm not producing, so, you only go after the people who are producing and you want to get them up. So no secrets. The secret is yes. That's a well-kept secret.
Okay, that's all. I'm ready if you are.
Okay.
With y'all today. Yes. So I have been in the network marketing industry now since 2014, you guys. And it's funny because I actually said I would never, ever, ever, ever own my own business. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur, but the right person on the right day at the right time said exactly the right thing to me. And I had a friend of mine legit come into my gym so excited because he bought socks without checking his bank account, right? And we were broke, man. We were living paycheck to paycheck. And I literally was standing in Target the week before, staring at a pair of shoes for my kid, asking myself if they could stretch another week because I couldn't afford them. And so when my friend's he's like, I just bought socks without checking my bank account. I was like, I need to be able to do anything without checking my bank account. Like that hit me like gut punch. And so I jumped into the world of network marketing. I had to learn how to suck until I could less. And I'm actually really excited about this conversation today because I bet you there's a bunch of you that suck right now. You feel sucky about sucking. And it's time to embrace the suck because we all start at suck.
Or you feel like your team sucks. Anybody ever feel like that? Like, I don't have good people, right? And you get so frustrated and you get so, really you start to lose the dream and the vision for why you got started in the first place, especially if you've been around a little while, especially if you've done some things like this.
I've been trying really hard to let them talk a bit longer. Do you have something you want to say first?
No, you can go first because I was actually going to stop him too because I couldn't take it anymore. Go ahead. You can go first.
Why? Okay. There's always such a focus on the rags to riches story. It is very different, of course, when you're having to provide for children as well, if you're living paycheck to paycheck. But that is an experience, whether you have kids or not, that most people have had because most people have had periods of financial instability at some point, some more severe than others. So it's a story that can relate to 99% of people in the world. And like Anastasia just said, she can't buy socks, but why should she buy a starter kit, right? Because she needs the money to continue investing. So where is she going to get that money if she can't buy socks?
That was one of the things I was thinking of because he was all excited he got to buy a pair of socks. Okay, fine. I can understand that, growing up and stuff, we didn't have, when we went shopping for anything, our grandmother would take us and we went specifically for something, we have to get some shirts today or, we can only get a few pair of underwear today, something like that, or a few pair of socks. So shopping like that on a budget, I understand it. And a lot of us do, but, the starter kit thing is what gets me is that, how did she buy a starter kit and start all that? And then he said that you have a bad team. Well, that wasn't very nice because he did. He said, oh, maybe you have a sucky team. Well, you're the one who recruited them in the first place. So it's your fault because you just wanted to get bodies in there for one. And then the other thing that I was told in a lot of the MLMs or pretty much all of them, they make it where, the exciting thing is, of course, you have your own business, stuff like that. And then the other thing that I was told is that you can, when you work in an office and, or whatever in the corporate world, you can't pick who you work with. What I love and have found, they always say I have found because that makes it feel more relatable. That's another phrase that they always say, that if you, that you can pick anybody you want to work with. So you could pick the people you actually like. Stuff like that. They just kind of like made it all years ago when I was in my 20s. To me, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I could pick whoever I want to work with. Well, no, you can't because they're going to say no. So, that's my experience of the no's. So Yeah, he caught me when he was saying that his team was, maybe you've got a bad team. Well, if you got a bad team, you're not a good leader, huh?
Have you noticed that whenever someone makes $1 million in network marketing, it's to the credit of the upline? Like, oh, I had such an amazing leader. But if someone is failing in network marketing, it's not the fault of the upline. So the upline takes credit for the good result, but not the bad result. And
nope, otherwise it's your fault.
Exactly. I looked at Bryn's Instagram, and there was I don't know how Instagram works, a section that said the 5-day drop or something like that. And I know that's a Modere thing. And I know John's in Modere too, but I don't know like if Bryn is his upline or not, because Bryn's been in for a long time and she got in before John. So I don't know if Bryn is above John directly. I wish I knew.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't realize that, because yeah, she's been in since 2014 and he's kind of new to Modere, right?
New-ish. I think it's been like 6 years or something.
Oh, okay. So he's been a little while.
New compared to Bryn. New compared to her, but not new in general.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
You all set?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're just like, I feel like I'm the only one working. Can anyone else relate to that, right? You're all fired up and excited, but if you're the only one in your team running, if you're the only one working, if you're the only one putting out content, ATMing your face off, getting customers, recruiting, doing all the things, you don't really have a leveraged situation, right? You don't have a check that comes in whether or not you get out of bed in the morning. Like, how many of us want an MBA, a massive bank account? We want to make money in our sleep like Bryn, right? We want to travel the world, have lifestyle, have freedom, which, by the way, a lot of people own a business that owns them. So they don't have the freedom because they're working all the time, trying to keep the lights on and trying to, build a profitable business. And the problem is, I think, number one, is that a lot of you don't have a CEO mentality. You don't treat it like a business. You don't treat it like a business. Like, think about this. If you invested $500,000 or even $50,000 to start your home business, how much more committed would you be? How much more often would you show up? Even if people didn't like your food, or they didn't like your business or your store or the price.
You're going to freak out because you still had to pay that money back.
Yeah, you owe all this money and you're like,
First, everyone needs an extravagant lifestyle. You need to want to not do anything and make a lot of money, even though they all call us lazy, and that's why we fail. But apparently, Bryn doesn't have to do anything, and she still makes money. So how much sense does that make? Why can't we just want a simple, happy lifestyle where we go on a vacation once a year with our kids and take them on day trips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I had another point. What was it? I had such a good point. What did he just say?
He is very insulting. Oh, you want me to go back a few seconds?
Yeah.
It's so hard to remember sometimes what he says because there's so much to hang on to. I should probably write notes as I listen to.
CEO mindset.
There you go.
CEO mindset. So it's our fault because we're not treating it like it's a business, and we only had to pay $200, and so we're not invested.
Right. And the CEO mindset, if you were a CEO mindset-ish kind of a person working in the corporate world and stuff, you would work your way up if you really wanted to be a CEO like that. Being a CEO of your own, I guess, MLM, that you're not the CEO of anything. So I guess to me, you're just the CEO of spending because that's all you do. There's nothing else you can do because you got to buy all the stuff. His face looks hilarious right now where I stopped it.
In Mary Kay, were you told you were a CEO of your own business?
Yeah, they tell you that you're the CEO of your own business, and you can name it whatever you want. And as soon as you sign up to actually all 3 times I signed up, each of them said you need to really start thinking of the team name that you want to have, because when you have a team, you have to give it a name because then you're your own little unit kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And I always would rack my brain trying to think of something fun that wasn't used yet. No, I wasted a lot of brain cells on that, trying to figure out what a team, fun team name would be. And it wasn't even just a Mary Kay. It was some of the others too. They tell you to think of a team name right away that you would like to call yourself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but for some reason I thought about that as you were saying. Yeah. Boss babe, too close to the sun.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
she has to work. Oh, that's what he was saying, where he was saying that she makes money in her sleep, and stuff like that. So then if
Yes.
she doesn't have to work, then how is she making all this money? That's, well, I guess because she has the people below her doing everything. I
Saying
think
the
he said
quiet
something.
part out loud.
Yeah, I think he says something like that. We'll see. I can't remember because I've watched a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Y'all set?
Yep.
It is what it is, right? I just got to figure it out. And I think that's number one, is just having a higher level of commitment and having that conversation with yourself, like getting real, having that conversation with your spouse, right? Getting real with, like, am I really committed to this? Like, maybe I'm stuck in my business because I need to learn something with where I'm at, right? Like, what am I missing? What am I not doing? And, you know, sometimes it's tough because I know as mentors, right, myself and Bryn, we both deal with this, where people are like, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? Or can you look at my social media? Or can you look at this, look at that? And listen, you can get advice from a mentor for sure. But at the end of the day, you also have to just figure it out through your own process, through your own activity. Like, I figured out what worked for.
I hit the wrong thing. I was hitting his face on my screen here. For him to say you have to figure it out and do your own process, right there, that's a double that just hit me. It's because they always tell you to duplicate what I do what I do what I say, and if you just do all the multiplication of what we tell you to do, you'll be fine. And now he's saying that you have to do your own process and you have to figure it out. Well, you can't do both. I just caught that he said that.
That's good commentary. And something that bothers me is that not everyone can just figure something out. Not everyone can be, when they are not comfortable in something, can just be an independent problem solver. Some people need guidance. Some people need to learn by being shown something.
Yep.
And he's going to say later, everything is figure outable. No, not for everybody. People learn differently.
Yeah, sure do. You try to tell me to, dissect something or, do a calculus thing, or that ain't happening. And there's no way I'd figure that out for myself regarding the, the big math. No. So he's full of it.
They assume everyone's exactly the same and everyone has like the exact same abilities. And it makes me annoyed. It makes me annoyed. And, saying that we all need to be a little bit more committed. How are you measuring if we're committed to our business, sir? Because what if we're a parent with 3 kids and we work 10 hours a day and we truly only have 30 minutes of spare time where we could work our business? That's still commitment because you're trying your best.
Yeah, that's another insult, because I was committed to trying to do, make all these businesses, but no matter what I did, it just didn't work for whatever reason. Well, it's not meant to, I guess. I don't know.
That's the reason.
But he's full of baloney with that, saying that you have to be committed, and then with his, figure it out. No, that's not what they always say. They suck you in and then they throw you away.
And they say, "Oh, we'll help you with everything." You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. And then I feel like when you're there, you have to earn their respect. Like you said, you don't get attention unless you're producing.
Yeah, exactly. When I was doing paparazzi, because I was getting everything ready, all in, again, that was the last thing I ever did was paparazzi, as we all know. But I'm pointing back to my bling shed because it's out there, my little red she shed thing. So I got the she shed. We were going to buy one anyway for me. But when I was, I was so excited when it was coming up the field here to, go into the house, next to us here. Then the ladies that were my upline were watching when I was doing a little live. Oh my gosh, my she shed is here, kind of a thing. They were telling people about me that she was using me as an example that she's all in and she's this and that. And then when I wasn't getting anywhere, it was crickets, total crickets. They didn't even bother with me. I got a phone call from the up person to welcome me into paparazzi and all the stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was so nice. No, she never called me again. So that was baloney too.
Gross. Okay,
yes.
I'm ready.
Okay.
For me, and that didn't necessarily work for my upline, my sideline, my downline. It was how I wanted to show up, how I wanted to run my business. But again, having that CEO mentality will change everything. And by the way, what do you think for somebody that doesn't want to budget. They don't want to have to check their bank account to buy socks, right? They are ready. They're frustrated. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they don't want to suck, right? They're okay with sucking a little bit, but they want to suck less, like you said. So can you talk about what was it for you that created the breakthrough to go from part-time money to full-time money? What were some of those things for you?
We are literally taught.
Sorry.
That's good.
So what do you tell someone who's unhappy in their business and who's extremely financially vulnerable? What lies do you feed them to encourage them to continue going into debt, to continue losing money and missing out on memories with their kids and their spouse?
Yeah,
Pretty much what he said.
it is, because they convince you that, well, they try to get you at the pain points. We all know that. So they try to figure out and see what it is that's really bugging you. And most everybody, it's like, I just don't make enough money, a lot of the time. So that's pretty much a normal thing.
I just have to turn off my camera for a second. I'm still here though.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
Okay. So this is weird talking to no face.
I'm still here.
I'll get over it. It's okay. What was I saying? Remind me. You threw me off.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God. What was it? I don't remember.
We were talking about, the pain point. Okay. So they go with everybody. They try to get you to say, well, if you're not making enough money, if you want to invest in yourself, you can find, you can find $200 or whatever it is somewhere. Use a credit card, ask a family member, ask a friend, because you'll be able to pay them back. No, you won't. So that's how they kind of get you in, is because you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I should just invest myself, because why not? They really put it on your emotions with that, because you want to do well. Nobody wants to do badly in life. You do want to do well. So you would think, well, okay, I should invest in myself. I know I can do well, because you want to. You want to have the, like in school when they give you a little certificate for something, or you got a star on your art project. You want the recognition or the acknowledgement that, I guess I'm an okay person. I did an okay job. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's no regard for how asking family for money may impact those relationships too, because if you ask, say, your aunt for $500 with the promise that you can make it back, give it back to her, and she's also 500's a lot for her, and then you don't pay her back because you're going into debt, that could really harm your relationship with your family member.
Yeah, that's very
There's
true.
no regard for that at all, because it doesn't matter to them. They just need people in the door. They need people in their downline, and how they get there doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. Y'all set?
Yes, I'm ready.
From the time we're like yay high to have an employee mindset, right? You go to school, you get a job, or you go to the military, but you go to work to get paid, and you are getting paid for those hours that you put in. And the hardest part about becoming an entrepreneur is understanding that you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset, right? When you first start in network marketing, or as any entrepreneur, you're going to have to work a whole lot up front without getting paid. And a lot of people don't understand that, or they're not okay with it. Because when you go to work and you go to a job, 2 weeks later, you're getting a paycheck for being there. But it doesn't work like that. But if you can understand that at first you're going to have to work before you ever get paid. And then it gets to be more like work, get paid. And then it's more like work, get paid, right? At the end of the day, you're going to get paid a hell of a lot more if you can commit upfront to having an entrepreneurial mindset. So I love that you talked about commitment. I want you guys to write this down. Commitment is magnetic. The people watching you, your friends, your family, your acquaintances, the people on social media, they're watching you to see how committed you are to working through that entrepreneurial mindset, to going from suck, right, to average, to good, to great, to exceptional, because nobody starts at exceptional. You've got to start at suck, right? Yep. You're watching your commitment. And here's the thing. It's really easy.
So yeah, I turned my camera off because my husband was walking by the door, but he's not coming back right away. So I'll just turn my camera off when he wants to walk by again. And so I'm gonna be leaving. I don't like how they talk about suck because sure,
Mm.
if you're starting something new, you may suck at it, right? Like if I want to be a singer, I'm going to suck in my first couple of lessons, but I can
Mhm.
practice and maybe I'll improve. But I've said this a million times, and we have too. If you can do as much training as you want, go to every Mary Kay event
Mhm.
ever. But if you're not if you don't connect with people who don't know it's a scam, it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah,
It
they just
doesn't
get you
matter.
all riled up. I'm sorry, what?
It doesn't matter how good you
Yeah.
are at it. It doesn't matter if you've gone past the suck.
Yeah, because getting anybody in is really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
Yeah, that's
All
all.
set?
Yep.
In a moment of emotion or a moment of inspiration or desperation, to click the button, to become an entrepreneur, to join the network marketing industry. A lot of people, they click that button and they're so excited. I got this. I'm going to do this. Everybody's going to want it. Like I get it. Like I can see the vision.
It's a no-brainer.
It's very easy to make the decision to do it. What is not easy is being committed to digging in when it gets hard, because it will always get hard. It's hard to be committed because commitment is hard. It's easy to make a decision to get married, right? You love it. You this person's amazing. They look good rolling out of bed in the morning, right? Like you think, oh, I'm gonna make this person happy for the rest of my life, but then shit gets real when you get married, right? And what happens is people go into marriage with a back door. If you go into your business or into your marriage with even the idea that if it doesn't work out, even if it's subconscious, then you will quit your business or you will get divorced. It's why over 50% of marriages end in divorce.
That is not why.
Do you want to go first? Is marriage an easy decision?
No. It shouldn't be, because you want to make sure that you're marrying the right person for you. And sometimes you don't even know that you're not or are, you know?
It should be a decision that we think about for a while. And even if we know we're with the right person, we shouldn't be just, in my opinion, everyone's different. I would, even if I know I'm with the right person, I'm not going to marry them the next month because it's a huge commitment. Mm-hmm. So it should be a hard decision, ma'am. Also, what do you think about, like, oh, if you have any semblance of, oh, this may not work, your business is going to fail, comparing it to divorce. Like we go into marriage thinking it may not work. That's okay. We'll just get divorced. So we can't go into our business thinking it's not going to work. So how long are we supposed to be in for?
Yeah, exactly. And the two don't even compare.
Yeah.
I don't know why she even put marriage in there. It's totally not, it's not even in the same thing. And the answer, yeah. I don't understand that part at all, really. And then the entrepreneur part, not everybody wants to be one. Even if they want to do the MLM thing, they're not necessarily an entrepreneur, because you can't call the shots on anything. You're just, a salesperson, as we all know, and you're just kind of like working for free. Oh my, you know what? Now that I'll hurry up with this thought.
No, it's okay.
Speaking of working for free. Okay. Years and years and years ago, when I was in my 20s, and I don't remember which one it was that I joined at the time, because I joined everybody. My dad, he said, "Why do you have to pay to work for them?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm not paying to work for them. It's just to get my starter kit and inventory. So you always have to put money out for your inventory when you want to get it and stuff." He's like, "Well, when I go to work, I don't pay them for me to come to work." And I could not get past that. I could not understand what my dad was trying to tell me. I'm like, I'm not paying to go to work. And then like working for free and stuff. And like with t-shirts, and well, my dad was no, I don't think he's too extreme on that, but like with t-shirts. And so if we wear t-shirts that, the Adidas and, anything that has like everybody's logo on it and stuff, or just, advertising a beer or whatever, my father never, ever wore a t-shirt that had any type of business on it, which was really interesting, because he said, so I guess this is probably why he was telling me what he told me. He said, "I am not going to advertise for free. If they want me to advertise and wear a t-shirt, they have to pay me." I'm like, whoa, okay. So, and that makes total sense. So I forgot why I was going to that, but the money and the marriage and the what?
I just said that's interesting. I like that. And what do you think about like work, then get paid? Well, no, you can work for 47 hours a day and still not make any money, or make $2 in a week. And so just because you're working, they always say like your effort brings your level of success, right? But it's like, no, your results do. Your ability to recruit or sell does, but you could put in all the effort, work yourself to the bone, and still not make any money.
And that's my story with all of this stuff, because you don't have the freedom, and whatever they're saying about that too. It's really interesting after watching and listening to a lot of these different people and stuff. They all say the same thing.
They do.
It's just so constantly I guess regurgitated. I don't know what a word I could use for that, but it's all the same talk. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And wonder how they all kind of say the same thing. Like, how did that start? Who was the first ever MLM coach? And then how did that message get passed down? I think the first ever MLM coach would be like Dexter Yeager of Amway.
I was thinking way back then too. Yeah.
Yeah, but how has the message been passed from the 60s to now? And you hear there's a lot of similarities, but there's also slight differences. And I just find that fascinating. It's like they all have a newsletter. It's like, okay, these are our talking points for the week. Make sure you paraphrase so we're not plagiarizing each other.
And they are actually, because they're all saying the same thing. But yeah, that's interesting actually.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Of course. Right? So today, here's what I want you to do. You want to earn 6 figures, 7 figures in network marketing? You've got to take that little door that you've got back there, you've got to slam it shut, and you've got to seal it, concrete it, brick it up, where there's no way that you can open it. Because then and only then will you make the kind of money that you really want to make in the network marketing industry. Because if there's any quit in you, you will not make it. You're going to get different strategies from John. You're going to get different strategies from me. You're going to get different strategies from your leaders in your company. None of them are wrong, and none of them are completely right for you.
Yep.
The best things that I've learned is to take little pieces of the things that you learn from the different people and start applying them. Your ass should be applying at least one thing that you learned from this training immediately before your butt even leaves your seat, in order to start getting a result. And here's what you do. Here's how you figure out
what have we learned? I'm trying to think of what we've learned that we can apply. Never quit.
Yeah.
Never quit. And then you'll make 6 figures.
Yeah.
What else? Commitment, but that's the same.
Yes.
CEO mindset.
Yeah.
Oh,
what
puppy.
Else? Yeah, he's whining. I don't know why. He just does it. He's always doing that.
Target desperate people.
Target desperate people. That's a good way to put it.
What else?
Very good way.
Those are our learnings. Yeah.
And that's right there, because you will be desperate and willing to sacrifice your sense of honesty. Yes, that's actually an extremely good point. Yeah. And the moral. Yeah. Excuse you.
Do you need a break and you can go give him some hugs? Did you hear me? Do you need a break and you can give him some hugs?
I'll give him, I've got a new treat that he's been going crazy over. I'll just give him a treat. Continue. Okay. And morals. Yeah. It seems, well, some people who don't have any to begin with, I think they get the farthest.
And she makes it seem like it's easy, just be committed. But Marie's right. You can't be honest. You can't have ethics, because when you're at the very top of the company, you know what's going on.
You do. You do definitely at that point. You have to know, because you're training other people to get there the same way. So you have to know when you're definitely at the top what you're doing. And that to me would not be comfortable doing that. at all. So probably that's why I never made it to the top either, because I wouldn't want to lie to people. And that was the hardest part for me with Mary Kay with the facials. Do you mind? I just give you 2 handfuls. Go lay down. Unbelievable, this dog. What was I saying?
Mary Kay. Something about Mary Kay and morals and ethics.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Oh, the facials. That's what it was, because they say, oh, you give a free facial. I never could get past that. No, even all 3 times that I joined, I could not get past telling people that I'm giving them a facial, because it's not true. But they have changed the wording a little bit. They don't call it a facial anymore. I just was watching somebody it's current, very current, and I cannot remember what they called it besides a pampering session. Yeah, they call it that. But I'm gonna have to find it, because they finally are not saying facial. A lot of people still are, of course, but they've got a new way to say it so it doesn't sound like a facial. Because if you're giving someone a facial, you have to have a license to do so.
Yeah.
So that's baloney.
And I said this already, she's making it seem way too simplistic. Just be committed, never quit. Well, what do you say, Bryn, to the person who's been in for 10 years and does everything you say and is committed and works all the time and ad tag message like John told us to do earlier? Then you're going to say you're not doing it with the right intentions. You're not doing it with the right energy. But you can't measure that. You can't prove that I don't have the right intentions.
Right.
It's just gaslighting.
She's what?
Oh, no, it's just gaslighting.
Yes. Oh, that's a word that gets on my nerves. Not the word itself, but I guess just seeing how so many people do that. And it's a lot of it in the MLM. It's really, I don't know. Maybe I've just been paying extra attention to it over the past couple of years, but seeing people doing that, it drives me up the wall. It really does.
This, when it's kind of polite, because they're not saying you suck, you don't try. It's just like, well, you're not committed. You don't have a CEO mindset. I mean, they're not gaslighting us directly, I feel, but it's still gaslighting, because no, we're not making money because it's rigged.
Yeah, the manipulation of the words that they use are meant to make you want to try harder, because you don't want to be that loser. You want to be a person who, participates and can actually make money and, all that stuff.
Monica, yay! Danielle just finished. I was watching Danielle earlier. Love Danielle.
Oh, who was on? Danielle who?
Danielle Ryan just finished her stream.
Oh, I didn't know she was on.
Yeah, I was watching her earlier. It was so good.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a little hand waving. Pink wave.
Awesome. Okay, I'm ready if you are.
Okay.
What works for you? I have people ask me all the time, how in the God's green earth did you become a 7-figure a year earner in only 6 years in network marketing? Because I was very, very good at taking what I learned, applying it, and then analyzing backwards every single day. What worked today? What didn't? How can I improve it? Tweak the next day. What worked today? What didn't? How can I improve it? Tweak the next day. Once I started learning to be committed and then to analyze backwards every single day, I started growing faster than anybody else around me. So those were the 2 things that really started to separate me from the pack when I went from just making a little bit of money in network marketing to making a lot of money in network marketing.
If you're trying to build an empire, right? Like that is how you should show up every day, right?
She did not make millions by analyzing her behavior.
No.
She recruited.
Yes. And I think the only thing that possibly could even be close to what she's saying about tweaking and all this other stuff, I think she saw what didn't work. I'm not doing that again. I got to do this. So I think she only did 2 little steps, there. So she was really on the, she was determined to make whatever work and say, I think, whatever she had to say to get it to work. That's the way I was taking that, is that she tweaked it the next day. So, so this script didn't work today. So I'll try. Yeah.
Okay. And in life, I think that's a good way to act, right? Like analyze situations and be like, okay, I didn't react well here. Why didn't I react well here?
Mhm.
Was I triggered by something? Like what went on? Why did I snap at that person? I think that's good because improving ourselves is important, right? But in MLM, I said this with the training, you can analyze all day long. If you can't convince someone to join, if you're not willing to lie to people, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
And that's funny, Anastasia. I love that. That's exactly.
Exactly.
I can't even comment on that. That's exactly right.
That's so
Analyze backwards.
okay, that's all. I'm ready.
Okay.
Right? You should have a schedule, an agenda. You should be intentional and have a plan in place and be disciplined. And I know some of you are going to say, well, it's hard to be disciplined because it's summertime, kids are out of school, and I got a job, and I got this, and I got that. Welcome to the club. Like, we all have those things. We all have distractions. We all have kids or other obligations or, another income, another business, another job. But like, everything's figure outable. Like, you have to stop making excuses because you can't make money and make excuses. You got to choose wisely. Choose one or the other, right? So you have to be intentional and say, you know what? I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to get really good at this thing over the next 30 days. Maybe it's TikTok. Maybe it's in your leadership. Maybe it's in your onboarding. Maybe it's recruiting. Maybe you're going to focus on recruiting this month. But like, you need to have a focal point to get a little bit better every single day, every single week, every single month. You plan, do, review, as Eric Worre says, right? Plan, do, review. And there's a quote that I heard probably in my second network marketing company. And it was by George Zalicki. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of George Zalicki, but he's like, it was like an MLM like god. I mean, it was just like he came out on stage, this white suit, the first time I ever saw him speak, big gray beard. It was like, oh my gosh, this is the god of like MLMs. Anyway, so he said, commitment is doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. Amen. Again, commitment is the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. And that really is commitment.
First, number one, we all have distractions. We all have kids. John, you make $1 million a year. You can hire people to watch your kids while you work, and you can hire a house cleaner. What else? You can hire whoever you want to make your life easier. Someone who makes $50,000 a year in New York City doesn't have extra money left over. What do you think about him saying that? Like, he's not relatable. He's out of touch.
Yes. Yeah, because he's already gotten way up there with his millions and stuff. But you're right. He can hire anybody he wants to do the stuff. Because they even tell you that. That's another thing. Oh my gosh, all these things that I've been told are coming back to me with doing these things. I love it. So hiring a babysitter. Okay, so one day with that. Okay, so doing what you need to do. And if you have to hire somebody or get a babysitter or whatever, you just do it. And even if it hurts, just do it because it'll pay off in the end, kind of a thing. And I did that with Mary Kay. My son was too young to stay by himself. And it was very hard to get things done with him. It's hard to do things with kids around, period. When you're trying to make phone calls and stuff like that, as soon as you touch the phone, they're talking. It's just the way it works. So mine was telling me that, well, why don't you just get in your car and go sit in a parking lot or go sit here, and do that. So I was like, okay, I could do that because I was doing what they were telling me to do because I really wanted it to work. So for my son, so what I did was I hired, I didn't hire. I just had one of the teens at our school, at our church, babysit because my son really liked her. So she was babysitting and I'm paying her to go sit in a parking lot by Starbucks. I got a coffee and I was sitting in the quiet car and I was calling tons of people to make my little appointments and stuff. Oh, excuse me, to make my little appointments. And none of that, I was paid for any of that. So I did get some appointments made because we did, me and the lady that I was doing it with, we did an event in one of those 55 community living places or whatever. So these are people who can get around and pay, their own things where there's no kids. So we did an event like that. And so I had a bunch of people who actually, filled out the little thing because they wanted to win a prize or whatever. So we were told to give them $25 in product. So that's what we did. And then we were told, you give it to all of them because they won't know the difference. So you give everybody the same $25 off and they think they won. So you tell them, oh, I picked your name, you're the winner, kind of a thing. So against my better judgment, I did do that. And it did not feel good, for one thing. So when I went to these people's houses, these ladies and stuff, all they wanted was their free stuff. That's all they wanted. And I brought, everything with me to do like a personal class with these ladies, and nothing. One lady bought, she bought a lipstick or a lip gloss or something because she was out. She liked the color and she didn't want to, she wasn't going to the store or whatever. So she said, oh, okay, I'll just get this one. But everybody else I had to give away at least $25 worth of product to. So all of that, paying the rent for the place, going and sitting in the gas, taking the gas to go back and forth, buying a coffee, paying the babysitter, and then driving back and forth to all these ladies' houses, because I live in McKinney, but then Frisco is a good 45 to 50 minutes away. So it's quite a few miles, because we did it in Frisco. I must have spent at least $500-600 to do nothing. And I don't know what the point was, but what he was saying, I think that's where I went off on my tangent.
It relates, because he's saying we all have distractions, but you had to put in a lot of money that you probably didn't have access to at the time, truly, and you were just told to do it. Because we all have distractions and we all just have to make it work, even if hiring a teenager for a couple of hours adds to gives you financial stress, because that would for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy thing to do. And he's saying, oh, just do it. Well, you're a millionaire, sir.
And he got there by getting people to join, because he makes it sound all good. Both of them have their salesy pitch down pat. I mean, they're very good at what they do. They are. But once you join, everything they say is a lie. That is so true. And when you start realizing that, it hurts to hear when, then, because you start thinking, that's what they said to me to get me in. Now they want me to work with somebody else. Wait a minute, that's what she did to get me in. Okay. So then they start teaching you what they did to you. And I don't understand why, we don't all see that, but we see it, kind of a thing, or we just ignore it. I don't know.
Oh, I have one last thing to say. It's weird how he was describing this man as a god, this speaker.
Yes.
That's creepy. Why are we talking about MLM professionals as a god?
Yeah, I got to look them up, look that guy up. Well, that's how everybody at the top is treated anyway. When they're in your presence, you feel like you've come into the presence of God, because they know so much and they're so high up. Hang around with people where you want to be, kind of a thing. Yeah, I don't know. And
you get rich through osmosis, as Danielle Ryan has said. You get rich just by being around the rich people.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it, by osmosis. Yeah, we get rich by osmosis, or you feel rich hanging around with them, so you think you're doing better, but you're not. You're just making it worse for yourself, because you're seeing what they have. And if if you're a person who really wants what somebody else has, it hurts that person more. It's making them feel really bad about themselves.
Camera off, but I'm still here.
I see you. Oh, shall I start?
Yes, you may start.
Right? It's like, it's easy to get excited. It's easy to get fired up and join and launch and maybe even run hard for 30, 60, 90 days. But when things get tough, and when you have a couple people quit, or when your check, stalls out a little bit or even declines, are you going to be able to persevere through all of that? And that's based on that commitment. That's based on that work ethic. And, there was a lot of people back in my early days in network marketing that I looked up to, that were very, very successful. And many of them, unfortunately, are no longer in network marketing. Super talented, super skilled, super successful for a period of time, but they just didn't have the tenacity to stick with it. And unfortunately, a lot of those people that I still stay in touch with, they're not, it's not like they figured out another way to become financially free. It's not like they found another way to create the freedom and lifestyle and all the things that they wanted at that time. It's just that they gave up on their dream and their goal, and they weren't disciplined. They weren't committed. They gave up. They quit. I mean, think about how many people have got involved in the profession in the last 9 years that have not made 7 figures a year, like Bryn, right? What's the difference? What's the X factor? And I'm going to tell you another X factor is that people like Bryn got really good at showing up on social media, building the relationships, connecting with high caliber people. Like, listen, if you forget everything we talk about, today, the number one thing I can tell you to keep in mind and remember this is you have to recruit better people. If you're in a hurry, how many of us are super impatient like me and Bryn? Right? Like, we're super impatient. Now, this is a tough business because you got to be patient. But at the same time, it's like, you also don't want to sit back to
I just wanted to get my thought out before he talked about recruiting better people. I like to say, you're an entrepreneur, when you're a business owner, you're going to have months where you don't make money. You're going to have slow months. You're going to have fast months. So it's okay. It's just part of being a business owner. But we're a salesperson, and we're told if we join, we're going to make lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
when we question, hey, I didn't make any money this month, John, it's not just business ownership, it's being lied to,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And that's insulting. I don't know. I'm finding him very insulting today. And well, her too, because of the way they're talking about people. We'll find better people. What the heck does that mean?
She's going to tell us in a bit.
Well, I mean, that's a very rude thing to say. You know,
And
find better
We're not
people.
supposed to judge people, like prejudge people. We're supposed to offer to everybody.
Yes, that's right.
Right?
That is exactly right. She gets rich by osmosis. Yeah, you're half asleep, so I heard you get rich by osmosis. Oh, she thought we said Moses.
Get rich by Moses.
Oh my gosh, Marie, that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
Look at what Anastasia said.
There we go. So anyone who leaves just didn't have the mental strength. So it's not the compensation plan and overall scamminess. Of course not. Don't you know? That's right. Yeah.
We didn't have the mental strength, but what happens if someone leaves who's like been in therapy for 20 years and is incredibly mentally strong and
Yeah.
has coping mechanisms and talks to the therapist once a week, and like what about those people, sir?
Yeah, just being tired of losing money every month that you have to, buy to stay active.
And it's valid, and it's a good thing to say, hey, this is toxic, this isn't good for me, I'm gonna leave. That's a good thing to do. It's a good thing.
It is. It is. It's a very good thing to realize.
Frustrated because quitting a toxic job or an MLM, it's not a negative. It means that you realize that you're in a toxic environment and that you deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm done.
All right. They were uncoachable. Oh, that's another one, Anastasia. Yes. They're not coachable. They don't want to learn. Well, yeah, right.
Coachable equals do whatever I say.
Yes.
Don't
Otherwise
question, don't think. Sorry,
That's
go
right.
ahead.
No, you're right. I was agreeing with that. Yeah, definitely.
I'm ready.
Ready?
twiddling your thumbs, just hoping that one day I recruit a hitter. Like, you become the person you want to enroll, become the person that attracts high caliber people. How do I recruit A players? You become a freaking A player. Now, I'm going to have Bryn talk a little bit about how she built up that confidence, how she developed that skill. Can you talk about this? Because how did you, right? You went from not knowing what network marketing is, and within 6 years, not 6 figures a year, but 6 figures a month. How the heck did you recruit these high caliber people? And how did you not just recruit them, but lead them? How did you develop that much confidence so quickly?
Well, it's funny because in the first 6 months that I was in network marketing, I didn't recruit anybody. Like, I legit didn't recruit anybody. But here's what I like what you're talking about. So the person who recruited me, they saw me as an A player. Okay, let me just break this down for you. Division I athlete. Played Division I volleyball, full ride scholarship. What are some of the qualities that a Division I athlete would have? Determined, hardworking, consistent, right? Teamwork. Like, you could go all dang day, disciplined, right? On the type of people or the type of qualities that a Division I athlete would have. What did I do when I first got out of college? Well, I was a salesperson. I sold food to restaurants. That's how I met my husband. What are the qualities of a good salesperson? I want you to start looking around at.
The sad part is, like, looking at the qualities of a D1 athlete. That's a great way to work on building your resume when you're out of college, even if you don't have work experience. You say, well, I was an athlete. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. So I can be really committed. I had to work hard. I had to be a member of a team. So I'll work well in this office with this group of people. Like, I didn't explain that well, but the sad part is it's really good connecting your college experience to potential employment opportunities. And that connection could have led her to great job opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that it was only connected to MLM when it could have been connected to a great job that she could have made an actual impact in.
Yeah, because being a salesperson like that for pharmaceuticals, food, like what she was saying, they make really good money, and it's hopefully honest, the way they do it. But those are actual real jobs that are real sales jobs that people need. So the MLM, nobody needs to be working for MLMs, but the other ones that they need people to go and into these places and sell their products. And you get paid to do it with commission plus. I don't know how big the paychecks are or what the minimums that they do. I don't know, but at least you get a paycheck if your commission isn't great.
Mm-hmm. And she probably used that kind of narrative about D1 being a D1 athlete to get her sales job. I bet that was part of her interview process, right? And she could have gotten other good jobs with that experience, is what my point is. I'm not explaining it super clearly. Also, isn't it interesting how no talk about getting to 6 figures with sales, all about recruiting the best people?
Yeah, that's exactly right too. Yeah, you don't have to. Well, you can't. You can never. I don't know how anybody could sell thousands upon thousands of dollars in products to make 6 figures. I don't know how you can unless you're a big retail store like Target, Walmart, stuff like that. I don't see a little person being able to do that.
In your training, was there ever much focus on sales, or was it mostly about recruiting?
It was mostly about recruiting to build a team and stuff like that. They talk about the sales or the products a little bit, or what's coming, what's new, and here's how you can sell it, and here's how you can this new stuff in the kit, tell people about the new stuff in the kit, and or give someone. Well, they don't ever really want you to give away a kit, but I can't remember who. So whatever, somebody was doing it. They had some kits available, and then they were giving it to new people as an incentive to join. I bet you that was the Mary Kay person, Carrie, the one who was there. MLMs are everywhere. Yes, be careful, people. Correct.
Hi, Mark.
Giving away. Yeah, he just came in a little bit ago. So yeah, the kits. Some people just give it to them, and you're technically not supposed to. But then if you're buying all these kits, then is it more sales for you? I don't even know. Would that be counted? I wonder if it counts as any PV or whatever.
It depends. I feel like in most that could count as your own PV requirements, right? But it definitely helps the upline. Yeah. I don't know if it'll help you, because you could give away a free kit and they leave because they're not making any money.
Yeah. When I was quitting Mary Kay, oh my goodness, she did everything in her power to get me to not want to send my product back. Well, as I think I've said that before, that I sent stuff back, but I certainly did not get back the 90% they promised. And if you have product, say you're in for 3 years and you still have product from the previous 2 years, you can't claim any of that. It's all garbage. And you can get, you have to use the previous year of whatever you purchased is what you get back.
Yeah.
So that's a bunch of baloney. But yeah, she did. She tried everything in her power to get me to stay, because they take it back out of her check when I leave.
Oh,
that's what it was. And I didn't know that they did that, but she had to pay, she had to give back the commission that she earned on me, all of it, for everything I purchased. So since I purchased thousands, she had to give back whatever the commission was on that. And that did not make her happy. So that's why she was really trying to keep me in there. So
Thank you,
Oh,
Mark. And thank you,
yeah.
Monica. That's so
So
nice.
sweet.
Yay. Thank you,
There you
friends.
go.
I appreciate it. I saw it and I wanted you to focus, like finish your thought, but I was like,
Yeah,
yay.
that's sweet.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready if you are.
Okay.
The people around you and asking yourself who these A players are. So I didn't recruit anybody in my first 6 months. Then I decided, okay, well, I just need to develop some simple habits. And these habits are what took me to a 6-figure income. I started to learn how to ask every person I was already talking to about the products if they'd also be open to an additional income stream. Because hello, how many people out there need extra income? Look, I still got a lot of no's, but a lot of people who had never even thought about it, who were already interested in the products that I had to offer, were like, yeah, I could also make some extra money, right? Then I learned how to flip my customers. The people who were already getting results, I started asking them, hey, you want to share these results? Make some extra income? Those 2 things took me to a 6-figure income. But what took me to the 7-figure income was deciding that I was going to start recruiting up. I was going to start looking for people like me, people who had the qualities and the skills and the habits and the belief of successful people. And you should definitely write that down, because that's the key right there to 7 figures. Habits, skills, belief. You need to develop these things in yourself, and you need to find people to develop these things with. Those were the things that separated me and brought me from 6 figures to 7 figures.
And it really is as simple as, like, if you can get to 6 figures, teach 10 people how you did what you did. You teach them how to do it, and that's how you get to 7. I mean, it really is that crazy. It really is that simple, because
Okay. Again, we're only focused on recruitment here. He's not saying be a good leader and try to develop the people you already have. He's saying, like, focus on getting 10 people and get them to 6 figures. But what if those people quit before they get to 6 figures, and then you need to replace them? I had another thought in my head for what she was saying, and it's gone now. I had such a good thought, and it's completely gone.
Oh, I hope it comes back.
Yeah, it's just, recruitment is key. And she had simple skills to get her to 6 figures, but to 7, it was all dependent on someone else.
Right.
Your income is dependent on other people.
And this is true too. If it was so simple, everyone would do it. Exactly. That's with anything that's online, or that people tell you is, oh my gosh, so fabulous, or all these little secrets and stuff. And if it was all like that, everybody would be doing it. And that is 100% true.
Oh, and she said earlier that no one starts amazing, but Marie makes a good point. If you are a top leader in one MLM and you bring a shit ton of people over, you're starting at the top. So some people don't have to suck.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what Jesse Lee Ward and all the Dre and all of them, that's what they did. They moved all of their people with them that they got. And so of course then they were making money, right up there. Yeah. And who's left to buy if everyone's selling? You know what? I have thought about that too years ago, and periodically. So if we're all selling, then who's going to buy?
Exactly.
We are. That's who. That's all that's left. But yeah, for people, you've got no customers really. It's just all fake. It's
interesting.
Yeah, you're not a customer anymore.
In an old Amway video, I think it was from the 80s, 60 Minutes, the guy asked Dexter Yeager, well, if we're all in Amway, who else is going to join Amway?
Oh, did he really?
Pretty much. I don't remember the exact quote, but pretty much. Yeah, this is what happens when I let it play for a bit. I completely forget my point because I had something in my head and then I forget what she was saying.
Yeah. Do you want me to go back a few seconds, or?
Okay. I think maybe it'll come back to me.
I hope so. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Because if you have, imagine how many of us would be excited if you had like 10 Bryn Langs. Like, worky. Like, you don't have to worry about money anymore. Like, we have people in our upline, they know worky anymore. Like, it's a beautiful thing, right? Like, they're still there. If we need them, they'll invest some money into our businesses. They'll do different things. Amazing.
There, what he just said, they'll invest money in our businesses. How?
Are you going to stack people? Are you moving people underneath you? Did that happen in your MLMs? Do you know?
What do you mean to move people underneath you?
Like did you ever hear of stacking? So your upline would put people underneath you even if it wasn't allowed in the comp plan.
Yeah, that's what Carrie, my director with Mary Kay, that's what she started to do. And that's why I got my red jacket and had my 3 people technically, because they wanted to have the event where there was a bunch of us in red jackets to try and draw in the people that came to the event to, get a makeover or whatever they were doing. So yeah, that's what the worky really, yeah.
Worky. And again, I thought we're supposed to be committed to our business and not be lazy. So why do we want to find 10 Bring Langs and then not work? Like, shouldn't we want to work? It doesn't make any sense.
No, it did not. Upline not working and getting money off the downline is not a beautiful thing. Exactly. That's the way I took what he just said too.
It's
is
predatory.
that you don't have to do anything because everybody under you is doing all the work for you.
Is losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Is being like mentally harmed.
Right.
Losing time with their family. It's not a beautiful thing because people beneath you are getting hurt.
Yeah. I really would like to know what he meant by the upline, they'll invest money in your business. That doesn't even make sense.
Probably the stacking or the like moving, say someone buys something under them, you just like move it under John instead so John can get his volume, right?
Oh, maybe so. Like what we were just talking about. Maybe that's a way to do it. Yeah. Because what are they going to invest in when they're already at the top? What are they going to give you?
Yeah.
That makes no sense unless they buy a whole bunch of product off of you to raise you up higher to, I don't know. It's all crazy. It really is.
Yeah. Or helping buy your rank. Like what the women in Monet did years ago. Did you ever follow that stuff where there was group chats about top Monet leaders saying, okay, everyone buy $200 of volume. And this person can rank up, and then everyone would do it.
Yeah. I learned a lot in the last Mary Kay stint with all of this stuff. And I am very thankful in a way that I went through that, because I probably would have still been joining a bunch more because I didn't get to see how it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I just knew it didn't work. And I really thought all these years, it's just me on, I don't have the drive or the love or whatever. I don't know. But so that part I am thankful for, because that really woke me up. I mean, it really did hurt because I felt very betrayed and it was awful. But I learned it. And that was, I'm glad I learned it, because this will never happen again to me, ever.
Good.
All set?
Yes.
Okay.
Things, but at the end of the day, they don't have to worry about money anymore. And how many of us want to be in that situation? You want to be in a situation where you have real duplication. You have people that are independent of you. So learning to recruit up and being confident enough, that's the hard part for a lot of you. You're not confident enough to talk to these A players, or, once you do talk to them, you get super intimidated because for some reason you're like super nervous that they might reject you or make fun of you or think less of you, when the reality is a lot of those people are actually the most open-minded.
Yeah.
Like,
and think about it this way too, you guys. Like, who cares if you're nervous when you ask?
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, you just separated yourself from the pack. Because you know how many other people out there are also questioning themselves, going, oh, I don't think I could talk to that person. Well, you just separated yourself from 95% of the population by just asking. That's a big deal, right? Like, you're going to get no's. People are going to tell you no. That's okay. But 95% of the people are not even asking in the first place because they're so scared of getting a no. Really know what it is that you want in the long run.
Did you ever hear things like that where, oh, who cares if you get a no, just move on? But not everyone can handle rejection without like internalizing it. And for some people, hearing no all the time can really hurt them mentally.
Yeah, it gets very discouraging.
Yeah.
It really, really does, because you start overthinking and, thinking that it's just you. It's just the way it is. So yeah, it does hurt when people keep saying no, 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 no. But then they tell you how easy it is. Go through the nose, get, let's do, the sheet of paper with the 100 on it, the 100 circles. Try to get 100 no's. And well, that'll be easy to do. I can fill up 100 no's a lot faster than I can fill up 100 people to join underneath me. It would be like 10 to 1.
Yeah. And I said this before, it's like it's assuming everyone reacts the same way to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can independently figure it out on their own. Everyone can have the confidence to talk to A players. No one cares about rejection. Well, no, everyone's different, friends. And yeah, if people leave, what if you're making $1 million and then certain people leave underneath you, and then Bryn goes from $1 million to 400,000?
Yeah, that'll put a dent in her makeup, or whatever it is that she does. You said Modere. What is Modere again? They do wellness
health stuff, healthcare, not healthcare, health and wellness.
Okay.
Oh, it just makes me so frustrated. I'm ready to go if you are.
Okay. Right? Like, it's one thing to say, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make 7 figures, right? Like, it's a whole different story when you can really get clarity on exactly what's your life going to be like if you make 7 figures. Like, why do you want to make 7 figures? Like, what are you going to do with that money? Are you going to invest? Are you going to travel the world? Are you going to have your dream car or your dream house? Do you know what they look like? Like,
a beach house in Destin.
Yeah, I mean, hello, right? I know a lot of people think that stuff's corny, but it's not, because here's the deal. If you know exactly what it is that you want, then you can ask yourself, who is the person that I need to become in order to have that? Because this is the biggest thing that most people miss out on. They may say that they know what they want, or I want to make 7 figures, but you have to understand who that person is that.
I should have just let it play, but I got frustrated. Now we're not making 7 figures because we're not being the person that deserves 7 figures. We're not being the person that we want to be when we reach 7 figures. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Continue.
Has that. The person I am making 7 figures a year is a completely different person than I was when I was making 6 figures a year. And a completely different person than I was when I was making 30 grand a year, right? Like, it's a completely different situation. So if you can ask yourself, if you know exactly what it is you want and you know who that person is, it goes right back to what I just told you guys before. What are the habits? What are the skills? What are the beliefs of that person? What does their day look like? Who do they surround themselves? What kind of events are they going to? What kind of books are they reading? It makes it really easy for all of you who are going, well, I don't know how to get there. How do I get to 7 figures? Well, ask yourself who you need to be in order to have that, and then start identifying what habits you don't have yet, what skills you don't have yet, what beliefs you don't have yet, and start taking one step every day to become more of that person.
Yeah. Do you want to put us back in the view?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I do. There we are.
We get involved in network marketing because we want this little thing called.
The next one started playing. Oh, you know what? Because I added that all to the playlist of John Melton. So the next one just started playing in the playlist. That's what happened. And I'll stop sharing their faces.
Isn't it interesting how we have to change who we are to be successful?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Our habits, who we surround ourselves with, how we think. Why do we need to change ourselves? Why aren't I good enough the way I am?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they don't want you to be who you are, because then you're not going to sell anything, basically, unless you're really. And you know what? Honestly, too, when you think about it, real salespeople, like, working out there in the real world where they really have to sell something. I wonder how many of them think, oh, I think I'll just go do an MLM because I'm probably better at it there than, being an actual salesperson. But if they're doing well as a salesperson, I wonder if any of them cross over, or if they do both at the same time.
Interesting question. Because if you're like an expert salesperson, you could do well in MLM if you don't worry about ethics.
Right. And yeah, exactly. If you don't worry about that, right, then you can.
Or if you don't fully understand. If you don't fully understand it, then I think, like, do you watch Chelsea Suarez on YouTube?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I ran into Savannah and her way back a few years ago when I started watching a lot of this MLM stuff. Cool. The two of them were just like, oh my gosh, I sucked in everything that they were saying.
Yeah, I love them. She's been in sales for like 10 years, and she said before, I would make so much in network marketing, but I won't because I have morals. I'm like, true. One thing Bryn said, everyone needs extra money. And I think Lots of people do. Lots of people are in unstable work arrangements, but not everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people have stable jobs. Lots of people make enough money to take care of their needs and put some aside for savings.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone, but people do. And they're just
Right.
assuming you're either in an MLM or you're really poor and you can't buy socks. There's no middle ground.
Right. And that's not true at all. They're with the way they make it sound that you need to do this to be able to get everything that you want in life. It doesn't work that way at all. It really doesn't. It works for them, but that's what I was trying to say. MLMs
Yes.
are the solution to all of your problems. That's exactly what I was trying to say. It wasn't coming out.
But I know what you mean. Like you can't fix your financial problems in an MLM. There's other things you can do though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
Yeah.
the MLM is not the answer. We're lucky that folks are doing well for the people. Aw, thanks,
That's
Mark.
sweet.
That's so nice.
Yeah, that is. But yeah, the products are. I was watching somebody else today. I can't remember who it is now. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of people lately, and he was saying, don't mention your products. Don't do that.
Mhm.
You don't even have to mention your products in the whole sales pitch. Just get them excited to want to join, and then the products will come later. And that's what they all do anyway. That nobody wants to mention the products because as soon as you do, people are just gonna be like, oh, forget it, I don't want that, whatever. So I actually heard somebody say that today out of some of the people that I was watching. I'll have to find out who it was because I'm sure I saved it. So yeah, that was really the truth. Don't tell them about what you're selling. It's not important. But then if you're all in for all these products and everything is perfect, and it's the answer to everybody's solution, then, or everybody's problem. It's the solution to everybody's problem. So yeah, that's really interesting. Did we see, I don't know, the ManaV stuff? Was that mentioned last time or no?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember that right now either, because that was one to be in the very beginning of. That was in 2003. And so they are still out there. And yes, you sure can. Better products elsewhere at a better price. That's true.
Exactly.
So they were talking about being in the beginning of, these, you're a founding member. That's what they call you.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's what it is. So in 2003, my son was a baby. And I can still remember, like when I would give him a bath or, being in the bathroom with him, he was like, 8 months old or whatever. And I was listening to the ManaV thing because I must have answered something and can't remember, but it didn't start yet. But they were already at the top because they're the ones who started it and they were recruiting all the new people underneath it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in at the beginning of something. I was like so excited. I can't believe it. So I did. I joined it and I was listening to all the trainings and stuff, and I could not sell one bottle of that stuff. It was $25 a bottle, and it tasted so good. It was like a wine bottle, but it the acai berries and stuff, when all of that was just starting to come out as antioxidants and stuff. And I tried. I tried to have a party. Ooh, let me think. Well, the party didn't work. I went to my neighbor across the street because they're telling you that, the acai berry, helps with everything, fibromyalgia and all this other stuff. And my neighbor did have that. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, if that can help her, let's see. And so I went across the street with that. And then when I told her how much the bottles were, they were $25 a bottle for a person to buy, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I sold her one bottle, and that's all that I sold. Between me and my sister, of course, how we keep going with each other, so she doesn't even count. But and it tasted really, really good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, drinking exactly what I want to say that it was just grape juice in there. I don't know. And for all we know, it could have been.
Right.
So even when you're in at the very beginning, I still could not recruit anybody or get anybody in. So it doesn't matter where you are on it. If you're not, I guess, pushy. Yes. You're not going to get anywhere. And I'm really not overall pushy. I'm just not, because I don't want to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to be. So I think we're done.
Yeah.
You have anything else?
Oh, I have folders full of stuff. Yeah.
No, I mean for this video today.
Yeah, not for this evening.
Okay, this was awesome.
I will say this though, for
Yeah.
the video that I was trying to find, I found a funny guy.
Mhm.
And he did a video. It's literally 5 minutes. So I can't find where I stuck it. So he does kind of like a parody-ish type thing, but he wears a wig. He's got on these glasses, I think, and then he's got these teeth in here, like they do in the movies, like Jim Carrey would put his teeth in
Yeah.
here, stuff like that. And he's got a big mustache and he's dressed like a dork. So he's giving, oh, Anastasia, you're so sweet. Thank you.
That's so nice.
And I can't remember this man's name. Oh, so anyway, so he has a little board behind him, and it's actually one of those flippy things. And he's writing on there, he's a coach who coaches coaches how to be a coach. And it was hilarious. And I really wanted to, have that for tonight. And I'm going to have to find him again. I have no clue. Like I said, I saved it on my computer. I don't know where it went.
Oh no.
So,
yes, find that, and then we can tack it on to our video next week.
yeah, and that one will just
Yeah,
play.
oh, yes.
Oh, it'll be, yeah, it's really, really funny. I enjoyed it so much. So,
Oh, good. That'll be
yeah.
fun.
So we'll have that next week.
Yeah, and we'll be back again next week, I'm sure. And yeah, I
Will
think
we
we're
be-
done.
Yeah, will we be back on a Tuesday, or are we you want to go back to our Tuesday?
I need to check my schedule probably,
Okay,
but
I'm
I'll just
free
check
whenever.
I'll just check what's going on, and I'll send you an email. But probably Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, either one. Wednesday is just fine for me because my he's at youth group and stuff, and it's just me and my
Okay.
buddy. So
Gotcha.
I've got Wednesday's great video. Oh, thank you, Mark.
Thanks,
You and
Mark.
Anastasia, that's so sweet. Danielle would love this guy. So I'm going to have to see if I can chat to her because I have never spoken to her because you just mentioned her today, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I think we're good. And
Yay.
I'm going to find my parody guy.
Yes, you should.
Aw, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
So
Yay.
sweet.
We'll see you guys next week. And do you remember how to end it?
I do. I am getting so good at this. I'm so proud of myself.
You are.
Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you so
Bye,
much for coming and watching with us. This was
Yay.
great. See you
Thank
next
you for
week.
joining.
Bye. Bye.